Good morning, students. Today we will continue with Euclid's postulates. In last class I explained you what are Euclid's axioms. First you should know the perfect definitions of axioms and postulates. Axioms does not require any proofs. They are self-evident, means which doesn't require any proof. Like whole is always greater than the part, like that. Now, 5 Euclid's axioms already you explained, already you know about it. By using that axioms, Euclid derived 5 more postulates. They are, first one, there is a unique line that passes through the given two distinct points. So here, two distinct points. Distinct means separate. It is one point, it is another point. So, with this point, if you draw lines, how many lines if you draw also? Like this. And go on extend it. Here also, draw lines and go on extend. So, by extending, only one line will passes through 2 points. This is one point, this is another point. So, only one line can pass through 2 distinct points. Okay. So, this is the first postulate of Euclid. There is a unique line that passes through the given 2 distinct points. Here, line means we should not take curved line. This is called curved line. So we should not take curved line. We have to take straight lines. It is one straight line. So with the 2 distinct points PQ, only one line can be drawn. Means in a plane, you have to take a plane, mark any 2 points, and only you can draw one line which is passing through 2 distinct points. Next postulate, second postulate, what he said is, a line segment can be extended on either side to form a straight line. So, straight line and line segment. So here, line segment means it has end points. Line means it has no end points. So, line segment you have to take it and extend either sides. Take line segment. This is AB is one line segment. So A extend left side, B extend right side. Then what happens means you will get a straight line. You will get a straight line. Line segment, if you extend on either sides, what will be formed? A straight line will be formed. So next, third postulate. What is third postulate is? We can describe a circle with any center and radius. So, if center is given and radius is given, so what you can do is you can describe a circle. You can describe a circle. Its meaning, if you want to know, you have to take a coordinate plane. You have to take a coordinate plane. So, in this coordinate plane, point ordered pair. If I kept a point here, this point is 1, 1, means x coordinate is 1, y coordinate is 1. So like this, center you have to take it. And again what you have to do, you have to take radius. Radius is 2 units or 3 centimeters like that. And you have to draw a circle. So this circle is unique. Unique means whoever drawn, it will be same. Okay. So we can describe a circle when we know particular center and radius. If you know radius and center, we can draw unique circle. Okay. Next, fourth postulate. What is fourth postulate is, all right angles are equal to one another. Okay. Right angle. So, wherever, if you see the corner of a room, L shape will be there. So, that L shape always gives what? 90 degrees. Okay, photo frame will be there like this. So here angle is 90 degrees. So blackboard if you are taking, So here it is one line, it is another line. Middle angle 90 degrees. Wherever you will see right angle will be same and it gives the angle 90 degrees. Now we shall look at the figures which is given here. Take a grid paper, draw different figures which represents the right angle. Cut them along their arms and place all angles one above other. So coincidence, what he is saying is, he is asking to draw right angles by using grid paper. In grids, you will have some sort of rectangles or lengths will be there, arms will be there like this. Okay, so wherever are there, take right angles like this. Take right angles and cut them, and one arm should be coincide with one arm of another rectangle, another right angle. Like that, if you see it, this right angle will be same. Means on one arm, if you keep another arm, the second arm also will fall on this one. So all right angles are equal. Now, fifth postulate is very important postulate. So once I will read, listen carefully and see the textbook. Okay, then maybe you will understand what he is saying about fifth postulate. So fifth postulate is, if a straight line falling on two straight lines makes the interior angles on the same side of it taken together is less than two right angles, then the two straight lines, if produced infinitely, meet on that side on which the sum of the angles less than two right angles. Something he said in English, whether you understood or not. We'll see it later. So here, how many lines you are seeing here? Lines L, M, N, and each line will have maybe 2 points. I'm denoting points here. They are, let be here it is P, this is A, this is B, this is Q, this is C, this is D. So see here, PQ is one line, AB is one line, CD is another line. How many lines you are seeing? 3 lines you are seeing it. So this PQ is one line. It is intersecting 2 lines, AB and CD, at 2 different points P and Q. Now come to the definition, what he said. If a straight line falling on 2 straight lines, this PQ is a straight line, it is falling on 2 straight lines AB and CD, makes the interior angles on the same side of it taken together. So here, this straight line, what it is doing is, it is making interior angles here. What it is making? It is making interior angles. Here, if it is 1, 2, this becomes 3 and 4. So 1, 2 are 2 angles on the same side of the transversal, this side. 3 and 4, that side. Okay. Now again I will read. If a straight line falling on 2 straight lines makes the interior angles on the same side of it taken together is less than 2 right angles. So he is giving condition here. So I am taking 3 and 4. So 3 and 4, if you see it, its a sum is more than 180. It becomes more than 180. According to this, it is more than 90. And here this one, if 2 lines are parallel and one transversal is there here like this. Now these two sum is 180 degrees. Sum of these two is 180 when these two are parallel. Already you learned some rules in 8th class in geometry 1. Now here he is not saying exactly 180. One side is more than 180, one side is less than 180. So 1 plus 3 is 180, 2 plus 4 is also 180. Now add 1 and 2. These two if you added, you are getting more than 180. These two if you are adding, you are getting less than 180 according to the figure. 1 plus 2, if you do it, you are getting less than 180. Where you got less than 180, that side, if you extend the lines, if you go on extend the lines, extend up to infinity, means more and more, then 100% these two lines will meet each other. When they will meet? When the two interior angles sum is less than 180 degrees. So again I will explain the postulate 5. One line falls on two straight lines. So it is one line, it is falling on two straight lines M and N. Now what is happening means interior angles 4 will be formed, but we want only 2. So take two angles on one side of the transversal. That angles, if you added, if you got that sum is less than 180, if you extend that lines that side, 100% both they will meet together. So this is the postulate. Who discovered this postulate? Very good. Euclid. Euclid's fifth postulate is this one. Again I will read this one. If a straight line falling on two straight lines makes the interior angles on the same side of it taken together is less than two right angles, then the two straight lines, if produced infinitely, meet on that side on which the sum of the angles is less than two right angles. So if these two lines, if you go on extending, if they are meeting, means this sum is less than 180. This sum is, if it is more than 180, if you extend also, they won't meet. Okay, like that. Now we will go to the exercise here. Some examples, problems are there. You do it. Exercise problems are also very easy. Answer the following. How many dimensions a solid has? Solid means whatever be the material, it is a solid. So it will have length, it will have breadth, it will have height. So how many dimensions a solid has? Means what you have to say? 3 dimensions. Very good. How many books are there in Euclid's Elements? So Euclid wrote 13 books. Okay. Euclid Elements is having 13 books. Write the number of faces of a cube and cuboid. So I said maths textbook is a form of what? Cube I said. Cuboid. Sorry. So it is a cuboid. So how many surfaces will be there? Means I said this is one surface. Exactly this side is 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. See 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How many surfaces are there? Means you have to say 6 surfaces are there for a cuboid or cube. Now, what is sum of interior angles of a triangle? So, triangle, already you know about it. Any triangle you can take it. So, in a triangle, sum of 3 sides, 3 angles is always 180 degrees. Sum of angles in a triangle is 180 degrees. Next question is, write 3 undefined terms of geometry. In geometry, undefined terms according to Euclid only. See, undefined terms are according to Euclid. The chapter name is only Euclid's elements of geometry. Write 3 undefined terms of geometry. So point is not having any specific dimensions, so it won't have any some particular definition. Okay, like point, surface. Okay, point, surface, like some points are there which are not having any definitions. So they are point, line and plane. Point, line and plane. Next, second question. State whether the following statements are true or false. Also give reasons for your answers. Only one line can pass through a given point. If we given a point, through point how many lines can be drawn means he said only one line can be drawn. It is true or false he is asking. It is false. All right angles are equal. Just now in postulates we had to cut some right angles in a grid paper and we had to coincide the arms of the right angle. Then they coincide each other and all the right angles are equal. So all the right angles are equal is true statement. Circles with same radii are equal. Again, circles should be defined by center and radius. So all circles which are having same radius. So if you cut that one and if you coincide one on another, then it will be same. Next, a finite line can be extended on its both sides endlessly to get a straight line. So finite line is nothing but line segment can be extended on either sides to get a straight line. It is a true statement. From the figure, AB is greater than AC. So figure he given like this, and here they given 3 points. First point is A, last point is B, middle point is C. Now he said AB is greater than AC. So here AC is part of AB. AC is part of AB. In AB, AC is part. According to Euclid, whole is always greater than the part. So it is true. So in the figure given below, show that the length AH is greater than AB plus BC plus CD. So again see, this is nothing but part is always, a whole is always greater than the part. AB plus BC plus CD is nothing but AD. So AD is one part of AH. You have to keep a textbook in front of you, and I am writing here AH is whole is greater than AD is part. So AH I am keeping same. AD I am writing as AB plus BC plus CD. AB plus BC plus CD. So AB plus BC plus CD is part of AH. So whole is always greater than the part. So it is true. If a point Q lies between 2 points P and R such that PQ is equal to QR, prove that PQ is equals to half PR. So these all are very simple problems. Then take a point Q lies between P and R. P is 1 point, R is 1 point. A point is there here Q like this. Okay. According to this, PR is equal to what you can write? PQ plus QR. What you can write? PQ plus QR. What he said? PQ is equal to QR, he said. He said PQ is equal to QR. So in place of QR also you can write PQ. PQ plus PQ becomes 2PQ. Bring 2 to this side. Half PR is equals to PQ. So why you wrote PQ is equal to QR means he given PQ is equal to QR. So in place of QR I wrote PQ. PQ plus PQ is 2PQ. 2 is multiplying here. I have to bring this side. Remaining you have to do as homework. If any doubt is there, I will explain to you in the next class. Okay, thank you.